Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Sunday. Let's get right into our study group for warriors, my hardcore heads. If you're new to the channel, this is how we get down every single Sunday. I basically just go through my notes. I study every single day. Let's get into it. What are some signs of an insecure man? Well, I got a lot of them here. Here's 13 signs of insecurity in a man. You can tell an insecure man because he avoids expressing his feelings and vulnerabilities. An insecure man is overly competitive with people around him. An insecure man is controlling, control freak. An insecure man is a perfectionist. An insecure man refuses to get help or support. An insecure man easily falls into addiction, chasing vice, chasing escape. Escapism is a sign of insecurity. Hedonism. An insecure man will be a hedonist, always chasing pleasure, worshiping pleasure, living to chase pleasure. An insecure man can't accept compliments properly, doesn't really know how to accept a compliment. An insecure man needs validation, constant validation. An insecure man cannot take criticism. An insecure man can't be alone. But an insecure man may also be self-isolating, right? So you can't be alone, but you can't go out. An insecure man can't get over the past. So many of us may have violated some of these rules. I have a few of these. You probably do too. Work on it. When you level up, here's the next one. When you level up, you start from the bottom. That's the problem with leveling up. Some people don't want to level up because it means they're going to have to experience being a rookie all over again. The new level is new. There's a lot of new information in the new level. You may have mastered the old level. It's like going from your old school to your new school. If you remember doing that when you were a kid, maybe going from junior high to high school, and you may have been the king of junior high. Maybe you were popular. You knew how to do the simple math in junior high, and the next thing you know, high school, 9th grade. 8th grade's a lot different than 9th grade. The 12th graders look like grown men. You feel like a little boy. You're on a new level. The new level is beyond your full range of knowledge. You may have mastered the old level and you know all the different rooms in that game on that level. If you think of a video game, you know all the different areas of that game. It may have taken you a year to break beyond that old level to get to the new level, and you played that level 567 times. The new level, you don't know shit about it. Everything's a mystery. It can be very anxiety causing. The new level feels hard. But the key to leveling up is to never fear what's new. Be willing to go into the unknown. Be willing to be that new guy at work or on the team, the inexperienced one. You'll learn. Pretty soon you'll be a master of this level too. Here's the next one. I don't coach incels. If I discover that you are an incel, we can't really work together. I find incels to be too resistant to change. They're not interested in change. They want to fight and argue, and I don't know why you want to pay me. I charge $100 an hour. Why would you pay $100 an hour to argue with somebody? Are you going to try to convert me into your little religion? Is that what you're paying for? You're going to pay me $100 an hour to convert me to be one of you? And we can end the call with me saying, oh, you're right on all your delusions and weaknesses. You're just so right. Is that what you want? No, I'm not interested in the relationship. I can't get anywhere with you incels. So go find someone else. Here's the next one. If you're not moving forward, there's something you're not letting go of. You're holding on to baggage. Imagine holding on to a bowling ball as you're treading water out in the ocean. Especially if there's sharks around, killer whales, other dangerous fish. Sometimes we hold ourselves back. Sometimes there may be external forces in our lives that hold ourselves back. But if you're stagnant, if you've just been in the same place for the last 5, 10 years, you feel like your life is not going anywhere, then there's something that you're holding on to. You're holding on to a bowling ball of some kind. Let's move on to the next one. Here's a question. Has protesting ever worked? I know people like to protest, and we've seen protests, since the 60s. But has it ever worked? I asked my mom that. She was a big-time hippie in the 60s. My mom went to all the Vietnam protests. She went to all the protests for all the different issues. And she was confused, and she's like, well, of course it worked. And I had to ask her, do you think that your protests stopped the Vietnam War? I mean, really, do you think that the president looked out the window of the White House and was like, oh, well, the people are unhappy, maybe I'll do what they say. What are they chanting? What do those signs say? End the war, no Vietnam, get out of Vietnam, okay. All you had to do was say so. Is that how it works, really? Is that ever worked ever once? Has that ever happened ever in the history of time? Has there ever been a protest ever in the history of the world? Or how about just America? Let's just stick with America. Has there ever been a protest in the history of America, all you historians, ever one, that worked, that solved anything? Did the George Floyd protests solve racism? Get rid of police brutality? We had the same protests during Rodney King, and then Amadou Diallo, and then one after another. We've had protests for all these different guys who've been beaten. Has any one of those protests ever worked? Abner Louima, remember him? Oh, that was a terrible one. The cops raped him in a Brooklyn police station with a plunger. Oh, people rioted. Did it stop the Brooklyn cops from being dicks? Not at all. But then they have people that never protest anything. Isn't that weird? You have some people that protest everything. They want to protest no matter what. The drop of a hat. They're out there protesting. Protest for Hamas. Protest for shit they don't even know what the fuck they're protesting for. But then you have people that never protest anything. They're highly against protesters. Anytime they see protesting, they're like, oh, those bastards, get a job. You protesters. Aren't the people that never protest anything just sheep? I'm not saying any one of them is better than the other. I just think it's interesting. Let's move on to the next one. Are skyscrapers just modern towers of Babel? Has empire tried to replace God and heaven? I've often wondered about cities, why we have cities with 20 million people. If you look at a globe of a population map, the little red dots, the red areas are the densely populated areas, and they're all pushed together. People are pushing themselves together along the coasts mainly into these cities, and then they build up to the sky, and each city is supposed to be some utopia. We're urbanizing as a planet. China's going through this. People are moving out of the rural areas of China into the cities, like millions every day. Has this concept of building a city. That's what empire is. Has it decided to replace God and replace heaven? Create itself into a utopia like heaven? We worship the king, we worship the president, we worship your politician like they're a messiah. Oh, please save us. I had someone talk the other day that they thought Donald Trump was a messiah, and it's like, look, man, Donald Trump ain't no fucking messiah. You may like him, but that's not Jesus. Only city folk think that kind of crap. You don't get no country boys thinking that. I live out in a small town in the country. They don't think that. They roll their eyes at the government. What's the deal with all these skyscrapers? Why do we have buildings with 30 stories, 80 stories, 100 stories? Go read the story about the Tower of Babel and how the whole thing went down and what happened to it. And then when you wonder why society is collapsing, maybe that's just the story repeating itself all over again. I don't know. Let's go to the next one. Suffering is caused by attachment and outlook. If you change your outlook and practice non-attachment, Wu Wei, you'll release yourself from suffering. Now, you're always going to go through hard shit. The trick is just to be anti-fragile, to be able to handle the hard shit. Let's go to the next one. The warrior trains in times of peace, or he gets soft and weak, and then he loses all future wars. Let's talk a little bit more about suffering. So avoiding suffering sets you up for misery and depression. Happiness comes from conquering. You have to wake up every single day with a battle and to go fight that battle. You need to conquer and achieve. That's what men need. Men need to conquer and achieve. You need to fight towards something. Funny thing is it doesn't really matter what it is. Anything, man, anything. Just pick something. If you're so lost in the woods, what you do, just sit there forever till you die? No, you pick a direction and you go to that direction. Try to pick the best one. Maybe walk downstream. You might end up at a road. Who knows where you're going to end up? You want to go to sleep every day with the expectation of fighting even harder tomorrow. We suffer, we recover. In that recovery, we rebuild and we train. And then you have a disciplined return. Do we have any time to do any more? We'll do another one. Here's a rule. Some guys don't like this. Image matters. You have 7 seconds to impress someone. 7 seconds. It's a job interview, on a date. Anywhere, really. 7 seconds. And hey, you may say, oh, I don't care about impressing anyone. Fine. Fine, that's fine. If you don't care about your image, then don't come complaining to me about being a loser in life. Let's just end it off here. This channel is for people that are interested in leveling up. I'm leveling up, and it's for people who want to level up with me. If you're interested in leveling up with me, you're in the right place. If you're some kind of expert who thinks he knows everything, and you want to come on my channel and flex all your muscles about what you know, you're in the wrong place. If your mind is made up in life, you're in the wrong place. If you want to debate me about stuff, you're in the wrong place. This is not a debate channel. You have other channels to do that. That's not this channel. If you think that you're right and I'm wrong, you're on the wrong damn channel. If you didn't come here for help, get the fuck out of here right now. Have a good Sunday.